Time now for I know every single one of us has something in common. Edition of the Water Cooler Buzz, what brings us together here every day. We all watch TV,
yes,
right?
We do.
Yeah, we
and
do.
the most important but little known week in all of television about to kick off next week, the Upfronts in New York City. Jarrod Moses is an expert in these matters. United Entertainment is the company.
Yes.
Joins us here. For the average TV viewer who doesn't know or care, why do the Upfronts matter?
It really defines what the season is going to be as far as television support and advertising support, and allows networks to really place their bets on the shows that they believe are going to have a longer life on air. And so this is a market where the advertisers show up and they look at all the shows that are available for the year, at least for the first 6 months, and they place their money strategically between shows.
So Coca-Cola goes to the casino,
right.
sees everything that's available.
Right.
And guys like you say, hey, that one looks good or that one doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of conversations happen prior to the upfront, and the buzz is out in the marketplace. But the upfront is really the first time that the community sees the defined shows that are actually going to appear on air, and we can say, okay, we're going to bet on that show and go for it.
Okay, so what those smart minds in a room decide, does it correlate to what we, the viewer, actually want? I've always wondered that.
Yeah,
is it actually what I want to watch on TV?
Yeah, you know, advertisers and the executives behind advertising are consumers too, right?
Okay, that's a good point.
Right,
That's
so
a very
you know,
good
you're
point.
looking at it not just based upon how your brand can integrate with the show or what media you're going to buy, but also what the consumer is going to like.
Sure.
And I think everyone's thirsty for good sitcoms, thirsty for new dramas, and when we sit in that room, we look for the new shows that are actually going to deliver to that audience.
All right, speaking of sitcoms, let's go through a list. This has been a riddle forever.
Right.
CBS will announce their schedule next week,
Right.
which will or will not include 2.5 Men. What do you think will happen?
Yeah, I think it's happening.
I do too.
I think for 20 million reasons it's going to happen.
Hello.
Hello, that's right.
And so is a show like this, which has got a proven track record, is that a better bet? Are you saying to your brand, hey, look, you're better off with 2.5 Men than some sitcom?
Yeah, I think it's an anchor buy. I think if you're going to buy time, that's one of the shows that you anchor your brands onto, and then you kind of run out from there, and that's also going to become the beachhead to your negotiation with CBS at that point
What
in
about
time.
Charlie?
I mean,
What if he doesn't?
I think he's going to show up.
Oh, no, with that kind of salary. How about the
Like-
idea? And I just feel that all of a sudden, you know, and TV's very cyclical and very repetitive and that kind of stuff. And I feel all of a sudden like there's a million CSIs, there's a million Law and Orders or whatever that kind of. I know, right, but what I'm
Better
thinking
watch
is,
out.
at some point these have got to dry up. And what's going to be the, you know? You can only go, hey, we got a slot in an hour here, we'll just do another CSI.
Right,
you know,
right.
at some point there's got to be the next thing.
It's sitcoms, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people love the hour-long drama. People love to sit and watch television for an hour. And I think what's happening in the hour-long dramas, right, exactly.
Or 5.5.
Or 5.5 for that matter. All right, or marathon. People still dig it. People still really enjoy watching it. And I think what you'll find is, and what you've seen, is that franchise has developed and developed and developed, and extensions have been made because it's a sure bet, and it's somewhat formulaic, but advertisers love it and consumers love it. But I think people are still looking for that comedic break in the day or in that night.
Speaking of comedic, those of us hungry for a really good new sitcom have been really pleased to see a show like Modern Family really deliver. I'm not just saying this because Manny's in the green room, but this show is fantastic. It better not even be close to being on the bubble. It's back, right?
It's back strong.
Advertisers love it.
And let's do a little math.
Yeah.
Last year, you would buy an ad on the show for X, and this year it's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 times X, isn't it?
The successful shows, yes. I think that those that did not commit to those shows now prior to the upfront are going to be paying 2-3x to those shows now.
Hear that, Manny? When you go at Rico, when you go to
my daughter's favorite show, How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Is another one. And because advertisers are more interested to appeal to my daughter than to me, aren't they?
That's right. And you know what they want to do? They also want to see you and your daughter watching it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Because then you can start to talk about advertisers that want to appeal to the family, which is a hot button all the time in the upfront. And those where a father and mother watch with their kids is a huge opportunity to buy into. It is tough.
Well, that's it.
Right. What else is there?
Idol,
There's a handful of shows.
Idol
Dancing with the Stars.
Parks and Recreation,
Another great show.
pedigree.
Right.
People like it, but not a big number.
Not a big number,
Really?
but it's one of the, well, if you look at The Office, and if you look even back in history to days of Seinfeld, I mean, these are shows that are niche shows that have a distinct audience. Friday Night Lights, right, where it had 1 million or 1.5 million people watching, but it was a very, very emotional audience that stuck with the show.
Do me and my TiVo count for, because I'm watching, but I time shift like so many of us now with DVRs at home.
Right.
Do we matter?
Towards the ratings, yes, but the
Okay.
problem is the advertisers are concerned about
Because
that.
we're
they're
fast-forwarding through the
exactly right,
commercials. There
which
you
leads to
go.
the whole idea of integration.
Yeah.
All right.
See, I zapped the show to get to the commercial.
You and me both.
Sure, the commercials are great.
Let's jump to some of these dramas. Michaela was thrilled to hear about this. Law and Order L.A.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
I mean,
My
how many
marathon
times-
got an hour
How
longer.
many are there? Like Mark was saying, how many Law and
and there'll
Orders
be
now?
more. I mean, it is one of these staples that is 20 years. 20 years old, this show.
Wow.
But they just keep coming back with new ideas. Dick Wolf is an amazing creator.
I see Law and Order 29 Palms. I mean, you can go everywhere with it.
Go international with it.
Right. And then of all the new shows,
right.
Easier said than done. Pick one. What's the big hit?
If you're going to look at all shows across all networks, paid or non-paid, commercial or non-commercial, I think that the Scorsese show about Atlantic City mob and business.
Undercovers?
Undercovers, I think, too, is going to be great.
Okay.
Undercovers is the one about the couple that go back into the CIA.
I love mob stuff.
Right, the J.J. Abrams show, which is going to be amazing as well.
And that one's called?
But it's the Atlantic City show. It's called
Boardwalk Empire?
Boardwalk Empire.
There you go.
I think that's going to be an amazing show.
That's an HBO show.
It's an HBO show. I think it's going to capture a huge audience. But I also think
that kind of take off after The Sopranos
left
off kind of thing? Because everybody needs that fix.
Exactly. We're still looking for that show.
It's appointment television. More information on Jarrod and United Entertainment. He's headed to New York for the Upfronts. Log on to KTLA.com. And as Jarrod has told us, and there's the United Entertainment Group's website as well, the quality of the buffet indicates, it's true, how the economy is going.
Yeah.
All right.
The more expensive the food, the more they're spending on shows.
There you go. Report back to us.
I will.
Until they see oysters.
Economic indicator.